Okay, now we're getting started on the main portion of today's lecture. Today we'll be looking at local governments in all of their forms. So when we think about what is a city, what is a county, what's a local area, there's really three different things that a local area is. One is that it's a civic republic. It's where you and I live and interact and um, um, go about our business. In this sense, this is civic in terms of of the government we create, but also all of the institutions we create, the churches, the clubs, the um, service organizations, and all of that. The second thing it is a corporate enterprise. I mean, this is where our corporations work, are located. Well, a lot of times we talk about government in terms of acting like more like a business and things like that. Finally, it's a consumer market. This is where people go and conduct their own personal business. If you think about what's happening right now with the shutdown, with everybody kind of sheltering in place, we don't have that civic engagement. The corporations are struggling, and consumers are not able to get their daily needs met nearly as well. And so, um, we know that a city is all of these things, and that we're now for the kind of for the first time in most of our lives finding out the city, which is just sort of invisible behind in our everyday life, we're beginning to appreciate more. One of the things we have to look at is how does philosophic orientation of a community, of a politician, shape how things play out. If an area primarily thinks of itself as a civic republic, it probably has different policies and different values than if it thinks of itself as a corporate enterprise or a consumer market. Um, and so when we think about all of this, we can think about it in those contexts. Okay, there are 89,000 local governments in the United States. In California, we've got 58 counties, 478 incorporated areas, 1,300 special districts, 109 recognized Indian tribes. We've got 12% of the population, 12.5% of the economy, yet we only have 2.2% of the governments. So our governments are larger, do more things for more people than in most places. One of the things that this means is that California's local governments have less direct contact connection with people. We see this playing out when we talked about the assembly and the Senate and things, with our state senators having more um, people in their districts than our U.S. Congress people do. But just across the board, um, Californians have less contact with elected officials than anywhere else in the country. Okay, there's as we go forward, there are a couple of different things we need to look at. One is how are local governments structured? And we can think of this in two different ways. One is that we can think about it in terms of, does the government do a bunch of different things, or does it only do one thing? So a city or a county is general purpose. A school district, a water district is single purpose. The other thing we can look at is the governance. The California has two different ways for local governments to organize themselves. One is called general law cities, general law counties, and the other is charter counties, charter cities. The difference here is that the state has a template for how a government should operate. What does a county look like? What does a city look like? And cities who abide by that are called general law cities. But if the counties want to, they can petition to set up their government in a different way, and that makes them a charter city or a charter county. And so going forward, we're going to be looking at these things: general purpose, single purpose, general law, charter counties. So let's go on to the next video.